Support for this podcast comes from St. Alphonsus Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinics, with physicians, physical therapists, and trainers who treat sports and performance-related injuries, with locations across the valley. More information on services and locations at stalphonsus.org/stayactive.
From Boise State Public Radio, this is The Connector. It's Idaho's Daily News. Good morning. I'm George Prentice. This morning, sad to say, we will tell you about a plane crash and tragedy for a Boise family. We'll tell you about a nonprofit that has launched an app that might help keep students feel safe. And there's big change in the weather outlook. It is Wednesday, the 3rd of September. And here we go with today's headlines. A Boise family suffered a tragedy this week when a private plane they were traveling in crashed into the wilderness of Bighorn National Forest in Wyoming. The local sheriff's office has confirmed that the plane, a Piper PA-28, crashed just west of Big Mountain in northern Wyoming. When a rescue medical team arrived at the crash site, they confirmed that one of the members of the family had died in the crash. A family friend confirmed that 13-year-old Amelia Palmer was found dead at the scene. Her father, Earl Palmer, mother, Cindy Palmer, and her 11-year-old brother were all airlifted from the crash site to a Billings, Montana hospital. The family friend has also set up a GoFundMe page for the family to help with medical bills and funeral expenses. A federal judge has once again ruled against two transgender college students in Idaho who are trying to block a state law preventing them from using bathrooms aligning with their gender identity. James Dawson reports.
Idaho Federal District Judge David Nye denied another request to halt the law late last week. Nye rejected the students' request for a preliminary injunction on August 23rd, saying they weren't likely to succeed on the merits of the case. That's because he says Idaho has an interest in protecting its citizens' privacy, and that the law mandates universities offer single-occupancy restrooms. The same attorneys representing the transgender college students in this case are also suing to block a similar law applying to K-12 public schools. The district court has also rejected motions for injunctions in that case. The transgender college students have appealed the rejection of a preliminary injunction to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, which shot down a similar request in the K-12 case in March. James Dawson, Boise State Public Radio News.
Idaho State Superintendent of Instruction Debbie Critchfield wants a budget increase for special education. She says she's hoping for about $50 million more. Idaho Ed News is reporting that the first $30 million would go out based on education enrollment. Simply put, those districts with a higher percentage of special ed students would get a larger percentage of the money. The remaining $20 million could go out based on the students. What that means is that schools with special ed students with higher needs would get a larger share of that money. It is estimated that there are about 33,000 special ed students in Idaho, about 1 out of every 10 students in Idaho K-12 schools. It is a sad reality that with the start of another school year comes concern about the possibility of violence at a school. Hannah Mersbach tells us that a nonprofit has launched an app that might help keep students safe during a possible incident.
Safe and locked. I see a person with a gun. Those are the kinds of messages teachers and administrators can send on the school-wide app.
Clear communication prior to law enforcement arriving at the scene.
Sharon Jenkins says that lag time is when most deaths happen. She leads the group launching the free Owl for Schools app, which is already being used in schools in Wyoming and could be in 60 more in the state, along with Montana and North Dakota, thanks to private funders. So far, Jenkins says it's been easier to implement the system in smaller religious schools than public ones where
The principal is one tiny piece in a much bigger matrix.
a shooter recently killed 2 kids during Mass at a Minnesota Catholic school. For the Mountain West News Bureau, I'm Hannah Mersbach.
Corey Anderson is over at the National Weather Service office. Corey, good morning.
Good morning.
By the way, it was hot. I was going to say warm, but it was quite hot yesterday. What did we top out at yesterday?
The Boise airport hit 100 degrees yesterday, which was a degree short of the record high.
Okay. What can we expect today?
So today we're looking at highs around 95 in the valley here.
Rather dry? Anything eventful?
It looks like we're going to have increasing clouds by Friday, and then the chance of precipitation will rise to 20 to 30% by Saturday into the weekend.
Do things cool off anytime in the future?
Yeah, so it looks like we're going to have a slight cooling trend through Saturday.
Okay.
And then by Saturday, we'll be in the mid-80s and then cooling to the low 80s early next week.
And I've even heard that we might flirt with the 70s sometime next week.
Yeah, that's possible.
Okay. There's a big swing. Corey Anderson is over at the National Weather Service office with all of his colleagues, and we thank you for what you do every day. And Corey, thanks for giving me a few minutes this morning.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good day.
And that is today's episode of The Connector. I'm George Prentice. We will see you back here Thursday. To stay in touch with the news between now and then, check out BoiseStatePublicRadio.org or download the free Boise State Public Radio app. And thanks for listening.
It's rare to find a podcast that can actually change your life. But when the show's called Life Kit, that's kind of the whole point. I'm Marielle Segarra. 3 times a week on the Life Kit podcast, we guide you through a topic we could all use help with, from personal development to healthy living to managing your dinero, with takeaways so you can start living what you learn right away. Escucha el Life Kit podcast from NPR.